Welcome to Passion and Purpose with Pamela, celebrating all things woman. I'm Dr. Pamela Hardy Shepherd, here to ignite inspiration through conversations that spotlight women's power and their journeys. Let's share our light, our stories, and create a space of celebration for every woman. Here's to embracing our womanhood together. Welcome to Passion and Purpose with Pamela, where we spotlight individuals who excel in their careers and make significant contributions to the community through their passion and their purpose. Today, we are pleased to introduce Dionne Jones, a multifaceted professional who embodies the spirit of holistic wellness and vibrant aging. Dionne Jones is a distinguished gerontologist, a licensed social worker, an author, and a certified personal trainer. With her comprehensive background in aging and wellness, Dionne has dedicated her career to improving the lives of others, mainly focusing on women age 50 and older. Her passion for promoting healthy and vibrant aging led her to establish Age with Vibrancy LLC, a holistic wellness company committed to empowering older women. At Age with Vibrancy LLC, Dionne offers fitness and wellness programs designed to meet the unique needs of her clients. These programs are more than just exercise routines. They are pathways to living more fully, authentically, and vibrantly. Dionne believes that aging well isn't just about physical health, but encompasses mental, emotional, and social well-being. Through her work, Dionne Jones is not only changing the aging narrative, but also providing practical solutions and support for women looking to embrace their golden years with energy, grace, and purpose. Her mission is to ensure that every woman she works with feels empowered to live her best life, providing and proving that age is nothing but a number when it comes to wellness and vitality. Join us as we dive deeper into Dionne's journey, exploring intersections of gerontology, social work, and personal training and authorship. Discover the passion that drives her and the purposeful work that has made Age with Vibrancy LLC a beacon of hope and help for many. Please welcome Dionne. So Dionne, thank you so much. I introduced you, and I just want the audience to know from you a little more about you, if you could tell us who you are.
Well, thank you, Miss Pamela. I used to call you Mama Pamela. I don't even know how long ago it was when the universe connected us, but it's always been a blessing. So thank you for this opportunity. Well, my name is Dionne Jones, and I am getting used to being in front because I am an introvert, and it's so much easier for me to be behind the scenes. But as you said, I have something to say and something to share. So my mission is based upon my maternal grandmother's roots. She was vegan and holistic before those words even existed. So I have gone back to what my grandmother taught me and bring it to other women and bringing the foundation of healthy eating, movement, sunshine, and peace. And it's just that simple.
Love it. Love it. Well, tell us we want to dig into this because this is so important, and especially for women of color. And I'm going to say specifically Black women, but all women. We need to hear this. And I know you're just going to cover the gamut. And so we're just going to dig and dive deep into this. If you're ready to go, I am too.
I am. Let's go. Let's dig.
So my first question would be you know what, I really want to get healthy. Where should I start?
Well, the first place to start is with being realistic. A lot of people come to me with these unrealistic goals. They see these harmful things on TV where you can eat 175 calories and work out for 8 hours and lose 100 pounds. So the first thing is being realistic. Why do you want to lose weight? Is it the right reason? Is it for health?
Yes.
For some people, it's crisis. They have to lose it because they're borderline diabetic or etc. For some people, it could be their mental health needs that little extra sunshine and movement. Um, Even if you come with what I say is not the best reasoning, trying to get into a wedding dress, which is not sustainable, it's still a start.
Yes.
So the first thing is definitely be realistic, and then we move from there.
I love that, because I'm going to say when I was younger, it was more about vanity. And as I got older, it was only about health and longevity and feeling good and not sitting over in a rocking chair somewhere.
Right.
So, um, you said something that's so powerful because for the right reason. So, do we need to do a mindset change? What is it? How do we get there?
So I've been blessed with my background in social work to be able to utilize that skill set with my personal training and wellness clients because I realized that it was mindset. We are quick to sabotage ourselves. Part of it is because we don't have the correct why for
Mhm.
what we're doing this journey for. But this is a lifelong journey. So I let people know that from jump. You may see me for a few sessions, but I'm going to plant those seeds because you need to realize that this is a lifetime journey. It didn't take you 2 days to get this way, and it's not going to take 2 days to get back on track and working on those healthy habits. But like you said, it's for movement. I don't want to be in a wheelchair. I don't want to be, I mean, not let's not say that it's a negative thing because for some people they're born that way.
That's right.
But some things you can work on and trying to be more preventative in your actions throughout your lifetime. So yes.
So, and I hear this a lot. It's like, well, I don't have the money to do that. I live in a food desert. I don't have that kind of money to do all this. Vegetables and fruits and things cost so much money. What am I supposed to do? How am I going to do this?
Well, food desert or not, you may have some dirt that you can get. You can get pots. You can plant simple things like tomatoes and carrots and collard greens in your yard, or if you're lucky enough, you may have a spot in your house with the right lighting that you can get some vegetables. You're not gonna have all your fruits and vegetables, but every little bit helps. So food desert or not, you can grow your own food. You
I
truly can.
love that. I love that. Just keep going. I always have a lot of questions, but you just at your flow, you just keep going because it is so true. We find excuses not to do what we say that what we want. And it's how bad do you want it? And what are you willing to do to get it? And I love that you bring that up because it's like I don't have a place in my yard. I don't have a yard. I live in a condo and you said get a pot. A
Yes.
pot.
I work with older adults mainly, and they live in apartments. And we started not a garden club because I'm not a green thumb. My husband does that better than I do. But I can't cook it. But we started with the pots in
Hmm.
there on their windowsills. Some of them started with the smaller because they're by themselves. And then it became a community. So a lot of them live in the same complex. So a certain person would grow these, and then a neighbor would grow this, and the lady down the hall would grow this. So they had a little co-op going.
I love it.
So I can exchange my tomatoes with your peppers. And so it's real simple. And food is the root of connection. I mean,
Yes.
think about sitting down to dinner with your family, sitting down to dinner after church as a family. So things that we've done historically and continue to do as legacy and tradition, especially for the Black community, those are things that we can impact our family with positively. We don't always have to have the unhealthy traditional foods. You can start mixing in some healthy foods and start with our younger generation because that's how we change it.
Oh my
It's
goodness.
not too late. It's not too late for us,
It isn't.
but let's stop the cycle.
I love that.
I'm sorry, it breaks my heart to see unhealthy children. It really does.
Oh my goodness. So when you say older adults, can you kind of give us a age range that who you work with?
My clients range from 50 to 96.
Oh wow, that's
So
awesome.
yes. So the AARP crowd,
Yes.
the, yes.
I believe that. And
Yeah.
oh my
So those
goodness.
are that's my tribe.
I hear you on that. It is so important because we didn't get I'll say this. Growing up, it was like everybody had a garden growing up. And somehow we just kind of moved from that and started getting the processed food and if it's in a pack for convenience and there was nothing convenient about it. It
Hmm.
was convenient for people making money, but it wasn't convenient for our health. And so if you can address that, I mean anything you want to address because this is
Well, that's true because if you look at the transition, I mean, I watched my grandmother, my mother-in-law have gardens. Um, Eddie Murphy has com this little skit, and I believe it's in Raw, and it's about McDonald's and how the mother was like, "We got McDonald's at home." So we weren't raised to go out for the fast food for the convenience. And
Mhm.
it looks like the shift. For me, I kind of started seeing it in like elementary school.
Mhm.
And my grandmother would always say, this was always stuck with me, even raising my sons. She said, if it has a commercial, don't eat it.
Oh
And she
wow.
said, they're trying to push something into you. If she only knew the half of what they are trying to push into us now, all these things that you can't pronounce,
No,
things that your body cannot process, carcinogenics. I mean, the dyes in food, cereal that they're pumping into these babies with all this cup red number, yellow number five. And my grandma told me about yellow number five in the 70s.
no,
It was
some
in food in the 70s. And she was
yes.
like, your body can't process this. And it's in everything. BHT, it's like so many chemicals, but because it makes it taste good, it makes it last longer on the shelves.
Mhm.
So I I just kind of remember in elementary school starting to see that shift, that push towards the sugary cereals, and the video games came out. Atari and all that wasn't created in the 80s. So that took the movement away from children. Not
Mhm.
as much as it is now, but
Oh,
those seeds, that those patterns, all of those habits were being planted and started. And now look at the children from the 80s. We're parents and looking at our children, and are you pushing them to move, or are you letting them stay in on the video games, on the phones, not going outside? And it's just like, wow, just to watch it evolve and see how people didn't pay attention. It's a scary part. It's like, wow, they really did make us zombies.
they did. And that's why they call it programming, because they have programmed us. And it's like when you go to the grocery store, you see babies with little iPads and the phone, and the parents don't take it away. And it's like when you raised your kids, you had to do it all. You didn't have the babysitter. And so these little kids, they want that stimulation, that dopamine, and that constant hit
And
that they get. And those who created it, it's all psychological. They knew what they were doing when they created. So you keep just, even the adults keep swiping. And that, don't even get me started on the blue light. So I'm sorry. I'll
right, I usually have my blue blocker glasses on, and I'm like they're up under some a report that I'm working on. So that's where I don't have my blue blocker glasses on right now. But yes, so it's by design, like you said. It's scary, but at the same time, you need innovation, you need technology, but like you said, it's a two-edged sword. So
Yeah,
yeah, it's
yes, it is. It really
because
is.
yeah, we need to do a better job at the balance,
Yeah,
because we're
yes.
constantly being bombarded with the blue lights, with the radiation, with the constant release of dopamine and stress, and we always have to be on. We need that on. So when you meet someone who focuses on peace and
Mhm.
not chaos, people are like, well, what's wrong with you? Why don't you? I was like, I like my peace. I don't like my heart rate to be on all the time. It's not healthy.
No.
You have these people passing away at such young ages because your heart can't take the constant attack, the constant, I mean, it needs to relax.
It is
So
so true.
yeah, we
It
don't
is
walk,
so true.
we don't, yeah.
There is so much when we think about it, and it is how, without always telling people what to do, is it easier to show them, how do you do it? Because, I mean, I have a daughter who's a vegan and a grandson. They're really into it. And, I remember back in the day, I was going to be vegan and I said, oh, I just want a hot dog. And my grandson told on me. Like, grandma, she went and got a hot dog. I was like, I'm not taking you anywhere with me anymore. But eating healthier, and how do we get people there? How do we show them without constantly telling them? What do you do to help?
You show them because people are always watching, no matter how much I hate to hear that message. Um, it gets reinforced to me every day because people are watching. I'm just living my life, not even paying attention to the people that are watching. And then
Mhm.
I'll get a message, oh, thank you for this and thank you for that. And it's one habit at a time because I was raised Seventh-day Adventist. So that's a vegetarian lifestyle.
Yes, it is.
It's my grandmother was a temperance leader, so that means she focused on all things wellness. And I realized that I got away from it. My story, I got away from it, and I was 200 pounds, 5'3", miserable, couldn't sleep on my back, I mean, everything just hurt.
Mm.
And it honestly took me 5 times of starting at the gym and quitting, starting at the gym and quitting to finally realize and get to the right mindset and the reason why, like you said, that reality to actually jumpstart and get back to what I knew was where I was supposed to be. Because I could hear my grandmother saying, "You have journeyed far from home."
Mm.
And I had. I mean, mommyhood, wifehood, working, school, trying to, oh yeah, we're gonna have these little crustables and we're gonna I had started buying processed food for my children because we're trying to get out the house and get to school. And my grandmother was like, you could have made some oatmeal,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
you could have something, make a fruit salad, something.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
constantly hearing her in the back of in my spirit, knowing good and well that I had strayed, I said, okay, I'm going to change one thing. And this is what I do with my clients. Don't try to take out everything.
No.
What is the one thing that you know is your major vice? For some people, it's soda or pop, wherever you live.
Yes.
For some people, it's white carbs,
Mm-hmm.
fine sugar. So pick one thing, and we start with that tailoring, taking it down. So I had a client who, I don't know how she was doing it, but she was drinking 4 sodas a day. I said, well, it's a drug. So I said, okay, I'm not going to tell you to stop drinking soda in one day because that's not you. It's going to be a
No.
sabotage, instant sabotage. So we worked out the entire month and we got her down by the end of the month to one, not even a can. We went from the full can to the little mini cans. So now, okay, we're one mini can as opposed to the 4
Mm-hmm.
a day. So by the time she got to the 30 days, we had a gradual schedule. And now she's like, I don't even want soda. I said, because we had to wean you off because it's an
Awesome.
addiction.
Yeah.
So I treat my clients like I treated my social worker clients. You're an addict.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So let's wean.
And when we think about sugar, it's very, I think it's one molecule away from cocaine. When we
Yeah,
start thinking about
and
it,
the
it's
brain, yeah,
like
what it
right
does to the
there.
brain. Mhm.
Yes, and you said something else. Excuse me. You said you were raised Seventh-day Adventist, and if you know anything, people about Seventh-day Adventists, there's these blue zones, and there is a Seventh-day Adventist community in California, in Loma Linda, California, and they live the longest of all populations. And so that's something that you need to think. And they're healthy, and they're like in their 80s and 90s doing all kind of things, still working. And the rest of us are like, I got this ache and this pain and I can't do this. And they're moving and grooving because that was how they were raised. And it's just more than eating. Dionne, if you could tell us a little bit, when you said something about the women, like a co-op, they have community, and that's what the Seventh-day Adventists had. And I think the Japanese call it ikigai, right? It is not only what you're eating, but the movement. And if you could share a little bit about that.
So we are complex. We have layers. We are not one dimensional. So just like the Holy Trinity, there are different parts to that. So you can't just feed yourself with nutrition, with food. You have to feed yourself spiritually. You
Mhm.
have to incorporate, and spiritual has different avenues as well. I mean, the community, the love, the giving back, all that falls within that spiritual realm, and the psychological. So I have a lot of older adults, of course, who have lost their spouses, whose children are busy and don't see them as much as they wish they could, or they live in a different state. So I knew, watching my grandfather, what he went through when my grandmother passed away. Men, for one,
Mm.
don't do well alone.
Yes.
They will find someone instantly to
Yes.
to replace
Yes.
that. But it helped me realize the power of community, of love, of connectedness. And people think about just the sexuality part. I'm like, no, it's being with someone that you can share with, someone who gets you.
Yes.
That's important, especially when you're in a world where everything is against you, and that vibration and that negative energy is wearing down on you. You need a safe space. You need somewhere to recharge. So that community is where you recharge, and it gets you ready for the next day. It gets you ready for the next event. It gets you ready for whatever you have to face. It's not going to always be perfect 100%, but your battery needs to be recharged. So your community is crucial. Not just your food, but your community is crucial as well.
Yes, that's powerful. Right? And I always say, who's in your circle? Who's in your circle? That because to your point, that is what's going to get us through many times. And you know what, when you said I started over 5 times at the gym, it's like, and I fall down and I roll around in the dirt, and then I get back up and say, okay, get back
Yeah,
on it. And
because yeah,
is it okay to like fall off the horse and what do you say to that? How do you help people who've fallen down and then they say, what's the use?
I just tell people you're human.
Yeah.
It's simple. It's as simple as that. I don't know well, I know where it came from, but this need in society to be all things, and all things perfect, and all things I'm excellent, I'm exceptional, I'm great. Every day you're not.
No.
And throughout the day, you may have a moment where you feel great and invincible, and then life's, and then you're like, ugh. So the gut punches, the sunshine, the highs, the lows, the ebbs, the flows, all of that plays a part. So if you fall down, you know the old saying, if I fall down 7 times and get up eight, I'm winning.
That's right.
So I tell people, just give yourself grace.
Mm.
It's just, and I tell my clients that, and it's so one. I have one client that's so funny. She's like, I hear that in my sleep, between telling me to engage my core and give myself grace. Those are my two little hashtags with my clients, and even with myself, because I have to remind myself, because I get caught up with the many hats that I wear. And I know that I have a community that I can go back to recharge. So that makes me feel great every day. But yeah, when you fall down, get up, and it's okay. It's okay to be human. Please, especially for Black women, take the cape off.
Yes.
We're not superheroes. We're
No.
not Marvel comics. We're not DC comics. We're just human beings. We are those that are aligned spiritually. We let people know that we are children of the King.
Mhm.
For those that are in the spiritual realm, they know that they are of the divine. So whatever you believe, know that there's a higher power than you. So attach yourself to that however you believe. But you do need that community and that higher source. So when you fall down, like I said, go back and recharge. Recharge for yourself first,
Mhm.
connect to my spirit first, and then I'll go to my community.
I love that. And that is very powerful because you said recharge yourself first. And, I always use that example. The airline even has it. They don't tell you to put the mask on your child first. They say put it on you and then help your child. So you put it on the child and you passed out over there. And so
Your child looking
I
at you
said,
like, how am I going to eat?
I mean, if they can get it, and they're about money, I'm just going to say they're about money, they're about business, then what more should we do? Because we, as women, we always put everybody else first, Dionne. We always do. We put them first. Like, oh, that's okay. I'll get to me. Well, I was taught you can't give from an empty vessel.
But women are trained to be caregivers, and it's been historic. Some of it's rooted in religion,
Mhm.
unfortunately. Then the patriarchy, society, women and children are to be seen and not heard. Because even when my grandmother would have guests over, be quiet. This is
Okay.
adults talking. So we've been taught to suppress for so long. How do you break that?
It's hard.
You right. So once that's one thing at a time. For some of my clients, I tell them to start journaling. When
Mm.
you feel like you have no voice, where is that coming from? And for me, it stemmed from childhood. You are a child, you are to be seen and not heard. And sometimes you aren't supposed to even be seen. So top that with not being heard, not being seen, you are invisible. And at the same time, you're telling me that, but I'm a child of God and I'm supposed to be this, that, and the other, but what is it? So teaching our children, teaching unlearning what we've learned, our generation, and pouring into the babies, because some of these young women are, honey, they're boisterous. They're not going to be quiet. They're going to be seen and they heard. So we can take a lesson from the babies below us, the young women below us.
It
It's
is so
okay to be bold. It's okay to speak up. So unlearning that is scary because for how many decades have we had that? But
forever.
I say, right, I say start with one thing. And if for people to get to the root of it, journaling helps, that's fine. I tell some people just go, if you don't want to look crazy, if you have a garage, go in the car and just scream. Just
Mm-hmm.
scream. That chemical reaction heals.
Yes.
Crying heals. But we've been taught that hide your feelings, be bottled up. And that's by design because they don't want us to have community. They
Mm-hmm.
don't want us to trust anyone. They don't even want us to trust ourselves because the programming is that leave it to us. We'll teach you how to eat. We'll teach you what you should learn.
Wow.
So it's definitely one thing. Journaling, expressing yourself. Some people are creatives. I express myself through dance. Um, I'm not an artist. I have a girlfriend who's a wonderful artist. She gets a lot of my money. Hey, Jen. Um, but find an expression.
Mm.
Find something that's going to open your throat chakra. And a lot of people we've been taught as women to be demure. We keep our heads down. When we keep our heads down, we block our throat chakra. So journal, keep your head up. I'm always telling people, keep your head up, quit blocking your throat chakra,
I love it.
give yourself a voice.
I love it. So what else in that vein? Because I know we want to move on to your book, but I want people to get all of what they can get from you right now, because you are such a powerful woman. And everybody, I say powerful because her inner matches her outer. And it shows up in everything that she does and that she says. And you know, I think I've known you since like the beginning of 2000. It's been that long. And I watch her, I watch what she's doing, I watch what she's saying. And like when you said people are watching, I may not say anything, but I am looking, because we are to help build each other up. We give each other inspiration. And that may be a day I'm down. It's like, I needed that. Yeah, that was powerful. And just thank you for what you do, because you always show up. And so people need to know, whether we know what's going on with you or inside, a lot of times we can all be dressed up, but that peace and that love, it ekes out. We leak out things that we're not aware of. And so Dionne's inside is shown on the outside. And I don't know if I'm asking a question. Yes, ma'am. That's what I've always seen. And if you can address any of that or tell anything else you want to, I don't want to talk. I want you to talk, because you got some powerful things to say.
Well, thank you. It's been a journey. And now see, you're gonna have me crying.
I don't know.
I get, when you're living in your purpose, you don't even think about it. I just do.
Mhm.
And it's just like, you people have told me what you said before, that I'm authentic. I don't I've never been impressed by the it crowd, or because I think a lot of that had to do with my grandmother.
Mm.
Grandmother was very loving, very inclusive, down to earth, simple. She made sure that we gave back. If someone would come to church, certain guests would come to church. Some people would turn their nose up. My grandma would always like scoot over, let them come sit by us. We would go sing at the nursing home after church. We would go and feed the homeless. So all these things have been inside me to be compassionate. So that's where I believe it. I know it comes from that. Um, and being a quote unquote different, weird.
Not weird.
Yeah. Well, I've been
Love.
saying it's just when you don't quote unquote fit the mold, which is great with me because I love being me. I love being the unicorn that I am. And so if that helps someone else step out their shell, then I'm so excited for them. I'm like, because people always kill me, like, you're so brave, you're so bold. I'm like, I don't know. My grandmother never let us follow behind people. She was like, the only person you need to look at is the one on the cross. I was like, okay. I'm like, yes, ma'am. So yeah. She's like, everything else is superficial.
It really is.
Yes, create community. Definitely create community. But if it's not aligned with your peace, then it's not even worth it. It's too expensive. If
It
it doesn't,
really.
it's too expensive. So um I'm grateful to be the same person wherever I'm at. Like you said, inside and out. And that's because I carry my grandmother with me.
That's such a blessing, because people want what you have. And it's you're just being your authentic self and how you're raised to be. And you said some powerful things. You've been saying them ever since we've been talking. But it is about giving back. It is about community. It is about just, being your true self. And there was something you made me think about is that I've always been for the underdog. I've never been one to fit either. And so you understand it's like, oh, and about your grandmother always embracing people and being inclusive. And you see somebody who nobody's talking to over there, you go over there and you go help them and say, come on over here, or whatever, just like your grandma had them sit on the pew with all of you, and she instilled some of the most important things into who you are as a woman, as a peacemaker. So I just wanted to say that because many times we think things, and my mother used to say, it doesn't cost you anything to tell somebody the truth and to give them a compliment. It is free. And you don't know, you build them up or encourage them. Doesn't cost a thing. Just do it.
Yeah, it just baffles me. I have this conversation with my mentors about how ugly Black women can be towards each other. And I'm just like, I don't understand that. I don't get that. And I've dealt with it my entire life,
Mhm.
especially being raised in the church. I said, whew, child. Uh, being in Black women organizations, and it breaks my heart. But
Yes,
I know it's a lesson involved, it's a lesson attached to it,
yes.
and everything can be rainbows and unicorns. So those spikes, those attacks, they can teach you, strengthen you, or they can knock you out.
That is
And I
true.
just choose to learn how to use them as fuel and use them as strength. So I also got that, like I said, a lot. I got that from my grandmother too, because she would be so unbothered.
Mm.
So even amongst her siblings, she was the goody two shoes, more or less. But
Mhm.
it was because
Mhm.
she was she was unbothered. She was just worrying about helping people. That was her only focus. I mean, she was a nurse. I mean, that's what
Oh
she
my
did.
goodness.
So
Yes.
yeah, so that's what she did. So it wasn't even the negative chatter, the quote unquote people thinking that they're putting you down, and she'd just be so oblivious. So unbothered and so oblivious, and I would just love it. I mean, to this day, it gives me hope and encouragement when you deal with nasty Black women. You're like,
Mhm.
that's your issue, not mine.
Mhm.
Well, my grandma, she would be picking her little tomatoes, and she'd be like, honey, girl, that ain't got nothing to do with me. That's their issue, not mine. Your issue is you. And she
That's right.
keep picking. And I'm like, okay.
And I know she had a good bedside manner because when you said she was a nurse, my mother was a nurse, and they instill some amazing things, bedside manner, into you. And for her saying, that's not my problem, that's their problem. My mother would say things like, if you go and get some new fingernail polish, and she used something so simple, somebody will not like it, they'll be jealous of it, of some fingernail polish. And I, as a
Yes.
kid, I was like, who's gonna be jealous of fingernail polish? And then as I got older, it's like, there's something that you have been sold a bill of goods yourself, and you don't know what goes on in people's lives. And so one of the things I would do, I would always try to find something good that I can say about you. Because if you start pulling the onion back enough, you can get to something with everybody. You
With
can find
everybody.
something that it may take you peeling the whole onion back till you see it, and then go on about your business. It's like, oh, and we were in some place, and we were walking out. It was San Antonio this past weekend, and there was a beautiful Black woman standing there with her boyfriend and everything. Now I said, ooh, I really love her hair. It was really up and it was natural. And so I walked by and I said, excuse me. And the husband said, yes. I said, ma'am, your hair is beautiful. I love it. And she was like, oh, it took her aback. We think things, but it doesn't cost anything to say anything.
Not a thing.
Not a thing. And he thought I was like, I'm not talking to
I
you.
don't care about you. Once again,
I'm
the
not,
patriarchy.
oh, but you are saying some powerful things. And as we're talking, I'm thinking about how similar we were raised. I really do. And
That's why we're
what,
connected.
pardon me?
That's why we connected. We connected from soul, from spirit. You can
It
sense
is.
that. You can find your tribe with energy.
That's right. Oh my goodness. Okay. Oh my gosh. This is wonderful. And if you guys, I know you guys are getting a lot from this. This is so powerful. And when you say find your tribe, what does that mean? I know what that means, but what does that mean? If I'm listening to you, what are you saying?
Your tribe is or are the people that support you wholeheartedly, unconditionally, that place where you can find peace. Your tribe, I said, if you're worried about what they're going to say about you when you leave the room, if they're going to talk about you when you leave the room, that's not your tribe. Your tribe uplifts you. Yes, your tribe tells you about yourself when you need to be told, but they do it with love, not to tear you down. There's a difference. So that's your tribe. It can be your family. Some people are blessed to have close-knit families. My tribe, we've been friends since elementary school.
Wow.
I've met women along the way, like you, through network marketing, who have become part of my tribe. But I don't have a huge tribe because, like I said, I'm energy driven, and I can sense before you even open your mouth that we're not going to it. Because some people just carry it's like the static shock. You shock yourself when you, and I already know that you're not going to be good for my peace. That doesn't mean that I can't be cordial to you. It doesn't mean that I don't wish you well. But yeah,
You
you're
won't
not
be in my circle.
right.
No,
Yeah,
not,
my circle. Yeah,
not
because my circle is a dot at this point in life because I am just a strong believer in peace.
Yes. And the older you get, you want peace. You don't want it, even if you may want peace when you're younger, I think sometimes you don't recognize it. But
Right.
as you get older, it's like you don't have the tolerance for all of that. You can't bring that in my space. I don't want it. It doesn't help me do the things that I need to do. And it does, it's just too much chaos. It's like, I just want to be like, whoosah.
Yeah,
And
it takes you off your mission.
in this part of my life, it's like, no. And so people would always say, why did you guys leave California and live there for 46 years? And then we moved to Texas. And the people from Texas ask us too. But we went all over the United States trying to find where to go. That was military friendly and had some of
Yes.
the things,
I was raised in San Francisco, in Texas. My father was stationed in San Antonio.
Oh my goodness.
That's why I'm just like, when you said that, I was like, oh my goodness. Yes, I
Oh,
remember the red ants and the heat.
oh. Mm-hmm.
Yes. So definitely the peace, what you said, the passes all understanding. Yeah, I tell people, I said Nene Leakes gets paid to act a fool. You don't.
Mm-hmm.
There's a
Oh, that's
difference.
good.
There's a difference.
There is
So
a difference.
take your broke self somewhere and take your drama and your brokenness on. So yes.
This is good. This is so good. So I want to move on to your book. And I want you to tell us about your book and where you can get the book. And by the way, everything will be in the notes where you can shop just in case you miss this part. It will always be in the notes how to contact Dionne and everything. So tell us about your book.
Okay, which one?
All
So
of them. All of
so
them.
the first one I wrote was, I don't know if it's gonna show up because I don't have the screen. I always fight with this because I don't have a thing. But Look Good Naked.
Yes. Okay. Raise it up just a little bit.
I know I'm gonna lose it
No,
because I
right
have,
there. No,
there we
come
go.
forward. And
What?
then,
Yeah, I don't have a what's the name. I don't have a
it's
green screen.
okay.
So
So what's
yeah,
the look good
Look Good
naked? I've
Naked.
seen that. Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
So you asked a question about when people don't know how to start, where do they begin? So that's why I wrote that book. It's a where do I start book.
Love
So
it.
it has why we sabotage ourselves, nutrition. I have recipes in here, 7 day of recipes, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, recipes for 7 days, and just a step-by-step guide on how to get started. and what terms mean. And so that's what Look Good Naked was for. And I had sat on that book for about a decade.
Oh my goodness.
Like you talked about timing and being ready and it wasn't time for me to release it. So Spirit was like, it's time. Everything has just taken off from there. I'm just like amazed at how everything has accelerated since I've come out from behind the scenes, because I'm more comfortable behind the scenes. But as my mom always says, such a time as this.
It is
So
true.
it's my Esther time,
That's
apparently.
right.
So
Yes. And
we
so
have, yes,
you can get that book on
Amazon.
Amazon.
Yeah, I'm
Yes,
going to
ma'am.
send a link for that. So that's a guide to your transformation. And then the self-love, I know this is going to be hard to see too, but it's a 30-day journal, because I talked about journaling, but it's a 30-day guide to greater self-love. So it's a journal, day by day, prompts, getting back to you, because like you said, you get lost. So the journal is how to get back to yourself. So
Love it.
30 days, you can write in the book, of course, because there are prompts, but that's on Amazon too.
Yes.
And this is the latest, and this is the power of social media. So this is called Ageless Glamour Girls, a
Yes,
reflection.
yes, yes.
So the lips, I have to thank this beautiful woman back here, Marquita. She runs Ageless Glamour Girls. That's her company. And she was on Instagram, and she was doing a search one day for people who had aging in their title. And we connected. Exactly. So we have yet to meet in real life, but we speak more. I mean, we speak a lot because we meet as a group of authors. It's an anthology. There are, I believe, 13. I think they may have, or maybe 13 or 14 authors who are from all over the world, United States, excuse me. And we share our wisdom on what we've learned. Like I said, I think I'm the youngest one.
Oh,
But to read everyone's stories of triumph, and some stories are about grief. Some stories are about becoming a grandmother for the first time and living in a multi-generational home. Some of it is trying to find your tribe after a certain age, when life has transitioned and changed and we're not the same as we were when we were 20. So the book is phenomenal. My chapter is about perseverance and surviving childhood abuse. So it's a lovely book. It's on Amazon. It's in, well, Barnes and Noble, Amazon. This one isn't a lot. And I know we have a digital version as well, but I'll get that link as well.
Okay.
We have done, I'll give you my YouTube stuff, but we have done webinars for the book and presenting different themes on what it looks like for love and aging, what it looks like for reinventing yourself and aging. So those have been powerful too. I've learned so much from this group of women. It's just been fascinating. I believe the oldest is in her maybe mid or low younger 80s. But
Wow.
it's just the life lessons. We have so much to share. This is what happens when women unblock their throat chakras.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And I understand the generation that they've come from, because women weren't celebrated. We're still not celebrated as we should, but it's
Exactly.
come a long way. It's
Yes.
come a long
Yes.
way. So they were really told not to be seen and heard. And so to see them write their stories and share their wisdom in the pages of this book is just, it's powerful. It's like being with my clients and giving them a voice again, and watching them just like come out of their little shells, because they're in their 70s and 80s and they've been told, I'm supposed to be a good wife, I'm supposed to be a good mother, and that was my role. And I'm like, well, what do you want to do now? So that's another little community that we created within the fitness community. They go outside the gym now. They go out to wineries together. They travel together. So they've created an external community which just warms my heart. So it's always going to be a theme of community, self-awareness within your community, to make sure you have to do a regulation check to make sure that you're still in the right community.
Oh, how do you do that? Because now
You'll feel it.
you feel it. Is that how?
You'll feel it, even if you're not paying attention. Some people ignore it.
Mm-hmm.
You'll hear a snide remark. You get tense when you know you have to meet them. You're hoping that they cancel plans. All these little things. Like if you start physically making faces when you're like, ugh,
Yeah,
okay, you don't want to be around them, girl. Quit forcing it. Quit forcing
that's
it.
right. And it's
Trying to keep up.
okay to let
It's
people
okay. You
go.
outgrow people.
Can you say that again?
Yes, honey, you outgrow people. Just like we outgrowing these pants sometimes.
Yes.
You know, we outgrow people, and it's okay.
And it's okay. And
Yeah.
it's okay.
Sometimes relationships, sometimes you're in the wrong relationships. Some people get in because of appearances. Some people don't
Mhm.
mind.
Or not knowing. I am a cover girl for that. I'm in my third marriage and I got married at 60. And I said, this is it. And I found the one. But it took all of those, one marriage, I was married 4.5 years. The second, I was married 31 years.
Wow.
And then I was single for 9. And it's like, I'm not getting married again. And God said, no, I got somebody for you.
Mm.
I have your Boaz. I have him. And I wasn't looking for him because I was like, I'm not doing this. And that was the reason why I put things up on Facebook to say, you might be 60 or over, but you can still find love. And
Yes.
so, you stay young at heart to the best of your ability. And when you're happy, it makes you younger. I can't tell people enough how it makes you young because my grandsons remind like, oh, grandma, you're going to be 70. I was like, I am not 70 yet. That's next year. Just let me get to 69. That's next year. Oh, all right, grandma, but you getting old. I was like,
Like, thanks. Yeah. I have a mentor who just got married at 72.
see,
She had been a widow for 12 years, over a decade.
see.
And like she's like, I wasn't looking for this,
No,
but hey,
it's possible.
it's possible. And I got the cutest little, oh my God, they just warm my heart. Two of my little silver sneakers, I call my little sassies. They're both widower. And I've noticed like within the last month, I'm like, oh, they walking the track together a lot. Okay. They after class, they going to get their little donuts and coffee together. I was like,
Oh,
look at this. And they're
mhm.
both over 80.
Wow.
Like people need,
You need.
you need
Yes.
love.
Yes.
You need comfort.
Mhm.
You need joy. You need happiness. We have enough negativity in our lives. Don't go looking.
Mhm.
Look for the happy. Look for the joy because it helps your heart rate. It helps your cholesterol rate. It helps your overall, like you said, your overall well-being. It's less muscles. It takes less muscles to smile than to frown.
Yeah,
So it's that simple. It really is.
it is. It is. Oh my goodness.
Find the happy.
So remind us what the books are again. All
So,
3 of them.
yes, Ageless Glamour Girls Reflections on Aging. I love the lips. Thank you, Miss
I
Marquis.
do too.
Look Good Naked. Definitely.
I like that title. I do. I like them all, but I like that title for sure.
And 30 Days of Greater Love, Self-Love is a journal. So I'm going to, like I said, send you all that information. And I appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. I just love how the universe has connected me to all these beautiful, powerful women from the inside out. Like I said, we were in a room of thousands of people, but we connected. So it's like I said, I definitely believe in energy.
I do too. And you are a blessing. You are ensuring that women can live their life full of passion and purpose. And that's why I ended up naming this because we all have a story and there is a place, for each person, and no one's story is greater than the next. Your story electrifies me and raises me up as a woman, and the next person and the next person. So I just thank you for coming on here and sharing. And I hope this won't be the last time, because I'm not going to let too much time go by and say, Dionne, can you come back? So can you come back? Because it's so important for us to hear what you have to say. And I thank you from the bottom, the top, and the sides of my heart. You are a blessing to us all.
Thank you. And I love to live life out loud because I say that too.
It is.
I know. That's why I say in my hair, I live out loud to my hair.
Yeah. So I just want to thank you so much. And if you have any questions, she has a contact information. You want her as a life coach, you seek her out. She's amazing. You want to get started. You're not too far gone. Just know that, you need community, and she's an expert in doing it. And even if you're not 40 and you're younger, she'll do that too.
Yes, I have mentees, definitely.
Okay.
That's because I have mentors still. You always need a mentor, always, no matter what you teach.
Exactly. So thank you so much, Dionne. And we will see you in the next version of Passion and Purpose.
All right. Thank you. Have a beautiful day, everyone.
Thank you all for joining us today on Passion and Purpose. It's been wonderful to connect with you, and I hope you found our conversation as enlightening and inspiring as I have. A huge thanks to our guests who contributed to the discussion and shared their experiences and insights. Your stories are the heartbeat of this podcast, and it's a joy to explore our passions and purpose together. I'm Pamela, reminding you to live with passion and purpose. Until next time, take care and keep reaching for your dreams.